Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Saturday. Welcome to Game Day Live, presented by the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network and the Primetime Radio Studios, along with Ang Crew Brew. My name is Vinnie Parise, and I am happy to get you set for New Jersey Devils hockey here with Shorts Guy as we get you set for the game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Welcome to all fans watching on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch. The New Jersey Devils are looking for another win. This time it comes against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus Blue Jackets team who beat the Devils earlier in the year. Shorts Guy, it's the dad's trip. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, Vinny. It is the dad's trip, and we saw our favorite dad of the New Jersey Devils, Paul Marino, in features in a lot of the New Jersey Devils social media content that was posted.
Woo!
Yeah, no, but for real, huge friend of the podcast, Paul Marino was featured in a lot of the Devils fathers and mentors trip pictures and stuff like that, which I think it's pretty cool. They're calling it fathers and mentors because, you know, some of these guys may not have a father, and, you know, being able to bring that mentor that really got them to where they are today is great. So yeah, it was really cool to see. And, you know, here's hoping that it's an emotional kick for this team to do well and to beat, as Sam likes to affectionately call this team out of Columbus, the BJs.
The BJs, the Columbus Blue Jackets, very polarizing team. I like tweeting about the Blue Jackets. I tweet about the Blue Jackets quite a bit. I like Ohio. I'm the only person in the world that likes Ohio.
Seriously.
But
Yeah.
I've been to Columbus, and I loved it. I loved my trip to Columbus.
I took a trip to Columbus. It was a 10-hour bus ride there. A lot of beverages and a lot of. I'm not going to hide behind the veil here. There was a lot of beer that was had on that trip. It was left at midnight Saturday to Sunday. I got back Monday morning at 7 a.m. I had a lot of beer on that trip. 10 hours there, 10 hours back. A lot of beer at the soccer match. I didn't see much of Columbus. I saw McDonald's outside of the stadium. And that was about my extent of seeing Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, that happens in Columbus, though. It's very much a party town. It's very much a town meant for drinking. Of course, that's where Ohio State is. That's where the Blue Jackets are. Sam Wu hates Ohio State. He wants me to make sure everybody knows that he despises Ohio State as a Penn State alum himself. He also says, what the F is a Buckeye? So that's actually a good question. I have no clue, but I know that campus kind of being like ingrained in the city is really, really cool. I think it was like a double-decker B-dubs we went to before the night started, all at the clubs and stuff when I was there. It's really, really cool. So, but you know, we don't like them tonight when they play against the New Jersey Devils. Before we were on air, we were laughing a little bit about the Columbus Blue Jackets. They were winning 5-0 going into the third period in their most recent game against the Toronto Maple Leafs on Thursday. And the Leafs decided to score 5 unanswered goals in the third period. Austin Matthews had 2 in the final handful of minutes. And then in overtime, Kent Johnson, the Michigan grad, who Sam Wu is also making sure that we let the fans know he hates as well. They're a bunch of cheaters. But Kent Johnson was a member of the Michigan team. And, we got the Let's Go Devils sign falling. No! That's okay. Kent Johnson scored in overtime, and the Columbus Blue Jackets had the first win in NHL history for a team that blew a 5-goal lead in the third period.
Yeah, that's an impressive lead to blow. Is 5 goals. That's I'll tell you my experience from the goaltender side. You don't like those games. I know no one likes to be involved in those games. That you let up 5 goals in the third period. But as far as the goaltending is concerned, like you feel like you've really let your team down. But still, that's a hell of a comeback. You know, at least temporary comeback by Toronto there.
Absolutely. Sam Wu, your thoughts?
Sam Wu is here.
I was part of a championship team one time where we were down 6-1 or 7-1. They were pulling out the trophies for the other team, and we came back and we forced an elimination game, which we did win.
Wow.
There you go.
Very good. That's important.
Short Guy, were you on that other team or no? Is that how we met?
Is that The
Is that
game
the
that you won.
same?
I don't know. I was assuming it was the game you always bring up where you scored on me to win the championship.
It could have been
Probably
the game before where we were down like 6 or 7-1, and then Cheeto went on a rampage. He scored like 4
It
goals.
may have been. It may have been, but I was not involved in the game before because it was a single elimination to get there.
Yeah.
The only thing you ever bring up with me is when you scored on me to win a championship because that's
I
the
know.
greatest goal because it was on me. It's the greatest goal you've ever scored. So you're welcome, Sam.
That's when my life peaked. That's when my life peaked.
You scored a goal in shorts, guy.
Yeah. It's been downhill since. Then I got married, and then I got back to a peak. And
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Wu is like the best thing that happened to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And before,
if I scored a goal on one of my best friends, including both of you guys, and it was to win a game, especially like a high caliber game, oh yeah, top 5 moment in my life.
But we didn't know each other. That's the thing.
We barely did. We barely did. That was when I was just coming back to work at the rink and I was just getting to know everyone, and we kind of knew each other, but we didn't really we were not the friends that we are today. Well,
yeah.
Let's put it that way. We were not the friends we are today.
Yeah.
Fair. Very fair. Well, that happens. And just like that, Sam Wu is gone. He wanted to be in here to give that story. I fully appreciate it. Hey, I hit a home run off of one of my best friends one time, and it was an exhibition game before the season started. It was like March.
Okay.
It was cold. The season was going to start soon. Like it was high school ball, and I pounded one off of him, and I didn't care. I didn't care that it didn't count. I didn't care that it didn't positively impact my statistics. All I cared about was that I put one over the fence against my friend, and it was awesome.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Oh yeah, and but from the goaltender standpoint, like when I'm playing against, some of my real close friends, like some of the guys on Hot Pot or whatever, like, which I very rarely play against them, but I have to make sure I stop them when I'm playing against them. That's my goal, is to stop them. In fact, 2 of the guys on Hot Pod, Schwim and Little Steve, I played against them over the summer, and I didn't tell them that I was playing against them. I just skated on the rink, and they were like, "Oh crap, I'm playing against shorts guy," and I wound up shutting out. I wound up shutting them out. So I walked into their locker room after the game, and I played with some of them the game before. Like I had back-to-back games. I played with some of them the game before, and then I played against all of them. So I walk into their locker room, and did you ever see the Simpsons episode where Homer bowls the perfect game?
Yep.
Okay, so I walk into the locker room. And I look at all of them and I say, "Did somebody say a perfect game?" And I went to like throw that imaginary ball like Homer did, and they all looked at me. They're like, "We all hate you." I'm like, "No, you don't."
That's awesome.
I'll take your beer right now anyway.
That's funny. That's very funny. If I were playing against people I knew as a goalie and like I didn't know everyone on the team, I would square up on the guy I knew and the guy I might not like. Let's say you're coming down 2-on-1 and you know one of them and not the other. I'm squaring up against the one I know and daring the guy who I don't know to beat me. Like that, because I'd be cool if he beat me compared to my friend. That's how I would approach it.
Oh,
but hey,
no,
the Blue Jackets,
it's fun to play against your friends. I will say that it's a lot of fun to play against your friends.
It sure is. There's really nothing better. I heard we got a couple friends playing tonight. I saw Akira Schmid's dad did an Instagram video with the Devils, like a fun fact about their friends. Elvis Merzlikins and Akira Schmid had the same goalie coach once upon a time. I forget exactly what level he said, but yeah, I do think that's really cool, and I have a feeling that's going to be the matchup tonight in terms of goal. I don't know that for a fact, but I assume it's going to be Elvis Merzlikins. Yeah, I think it's going to be Schmid versus Merzlikins with the back-to-back tomorrow with the Anaheim Ducks, which we'll preview that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm excited for this game today. The last time we spoke, the New Jersey Devils ended up playing a tight game with the Boston Bruins, and Jack Hughes scored in overtime. You're looking for Jack Hughes to, now that he ended his point streak with that overtime winner, his point drought streak, I should say. He's still got 34 points in 22 games or something ridiculous like that. He's on pace for 119 points. You expecting a big game from number 86 against the Blue Jackets?
Yeah, all you got to do is get that 1 point to break that drought, and then you can start doing what you normally do. So I am expecting that, especially going into tomorrow. Not that we want to look past tonight, but going into tomorrow, Anaheim, and I'm completely blanking. Who's what's his name on Anaheim that Jack is good friends with? the American kid.
Oh, Trevor Zegras.
Zegras. You know, Jack's going to want to play good tonight so he can play good against his buddy. You know, speaking of playing against your friends, he's going to want to play against, good against his buddy Zegras tomorrow. So what better way to get primed up for tomorrow than by doing really well tonight? You know, you broke your streak. Sometimes in this, it's a fickle game. It's such an odd game. You can do everything right and still get 0 breaks and end up in the negative. But as soon as you finally get that break to kind of put you on that on the good side of things, on the good side of the score sheet, things become so much easier. And that's really what I'm hoping that Jack can do tonight. And not for nothing, the BJs showed that they can let up 5 goals in a period against Toronto. So the capability is there of the BJs allowing all that scoring bonanza to happen within a period.
Absolutely. And earlier this season, the Blue Jackets did play the New Jersey Devils, and the Blue Jackets were winners by a final score of 2-1. I'm trying to see. I'm pretty sure there was no. Yep, I got it right here. There was no. Jack Hughes did play in that game, but there was no Nico Hischier. And I think having everybody full lineup ready to go. Schmid gave up 2 goals, but he made 26 saves on 28 shots, 928 save percentage. It's not bad at all. The Devils' 1 goal was scored by Alexander Holtz, and Andre Palat had the assist, you might remember. And they weren't able to get that equalizer. They were kind of going through a little bit of a slump. But it's a completely different team that the Devils will be facing right now. And you know what? It's a little bit different of a team than the Blue Jackets team that the Devils will be facing as well. No Patrick Laine. He's going to be out for about 6 weeks dealing with an injury too. So do you think there's some kind of, I don't know about revenge that the Devils might be looking for, but hey, we lost to these guys 2-1 last time. They're where they are in the standings. We're where we are in the standings. We got to get going in this game like right away.
Yeah, I don't want to call it revenge, but in all the pregame stuff this morning that they got, their pregame rundown sheets of who they're playing today. There's a reminder like, yeah, we lost to them, 2-1 last time, and basically probably running down all the stats that you gave. Well, there goes my backdrop again. I'm not even going to bother. So basically, what it's going to be is it's going to be just. Let's improve on last time. Like 2-1 is not a bad loss. If you're losing 2-1, that's not terrible. Getting blown out is terrible. Losing a 5-goal lead like Columbus just did is terrible. A 2-1 loss is something you're like, all right, well, we were there, we were in the game, and it didn't work. But this Devils team is better than this Columbus team. But I've seen a trend where the Devils tend to not play well against these teams that are below them, and that's worrisome to me. So with that being said, this coaching staff is hopefully being like, hey, these guys are below you. Don't play down to their level, and play them the way you play. Don't play like they play.
That's kind of the issue. And they got two bad teams this weekend. You got the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight and the Anaheim Ducks tomorrow. They're both bottom 5 in the overall NHL standings. If the Devils win both and collect 4 points, they go into that Philly game with the second best winning percentage in the Metropolitan Division. So it really could, depending on what a couple teams ahead of them do tonight, tomorrow, whatever the case may be. But I mean, they really could come out of this weekend in a really good spot if they have 35 points going into the weekend. I believe we have a game next week where the Devils play the Philadelphia Flyers, another division game with a team hovering right around them in the standings. You already got a big win against the Flyers this year. Can you do it again? I mean, there's some big stuff on the line this weekend against these bad teams.
There is, and they have to seize this opportunity. This is 4 points, and really tonight's points are more important than tomorrow's points. Tonight's points are Metro Division points. Not that Columbus is near us in the standings, but tonight's points mean more, and tomorrow's points are just as meaningful. But tonight's points are more meaningful because it's within the Metro. So take advantage of tonight, get the business done tonight, and there goes the rest of my backdrop, and go into tomorrow's game. Yeah, it went. And collect those points tomorrow and take these 4 points going into a week next week where we play, what is that? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then you have a couple days off for Christmas. So take advantage of this. That's what this team has to do, is take advantage of these points that we should be able to get tonight and tomorrow.
The Carolina Hurricanes put one of the goalies that helped defeat the New Jersey Devils in the postseason last year, Antti Ranta, on waivers today. Would you take a shot?
I did not see that. My gosh, that's wow. They put him on waivers.
Yep, not been playing well this year, so it's not like the Devils would be adding last year's version of Ranta if they acquired him on waivers. But the potential for that to be the case is there.
Yes, so the potential is there, and sometimes a player needs a change of scenery to do well. But my worry is the defense in front of these goaltenders. Is it going to help these goaltenders play at their top potential? And that's really what I worry. And that's from my own watching of this team and my own analysis of this team and my experience of a lifetime of being the idiot that decided to put on the pads and say, yeah, hit me with things. That's still my worry, is this defensive core in front of the goaltenders and allowing these goaltenders to achieve their potential.
Sam?
I just want to thank Mark Schwab for the super chat. It says, hello, everybody. Woo! I tried to stay awake. This is a must-win game. Thank you to Vinnie and Short Sky. Greetings from Switzerland. And thank you for the super chat. Had to interrupt. And if this prop is giving sympathetic thoughts, more super chats to help me in the time of need.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Mark. As always, a huge fan of the podcast from Switzerland. Vin, I gotta make my way to Europe. Make my way to Europe.
One other thing, we are 1-0 with this neck brace on. So if anybody, if there's any ambulance chasing attorneys that want to sponsor this podcast, please do. This is the podcast to do it.
Is that a real neck brace?
Have you ever been in a car accident or you had a hard fall, Vinny? You're in luck. This could be you and associates. We'll get you the money you deserve.
The one and only Sam.
And you won't collect a dime unless we win.
That's funny.
I love those commercials. I love those daytime commercials. Oh, they're great.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully they make it 2-0 with the whole thing he's got going on there. We're going to get to predictions in just a little bit. We're almost to that point of the show. So start getting your predictions in the chat right now. Shorts guy, you're going to a game against the Blue Jackets. You're not going to see Damon Severson. He's a little hurt. But this is a team the Devils should be able to beat. What do you think they need to really truly get that done? And I know we've talked about goaltending. I know we've talked about Jack Hughes, but does something else stick out? Because there's one thing I have in mind I'd really like to see from one specific New Jersey Devils player today.
Okay. Yeah, nothing really sticks out in my mind. Of the Devils just need to do the job against these teams like Columbus and Anaheim, which we have over tonight and tomorrow. With that being said, Elvis on because I can't pronounce Merzlikins. Merzlikins. There you go. I love him as a goalie, and he's got some skills. So if it's Akira versus him tonight, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for these Devils to shoot against. But we've seen our offense is incredibly skilled, incredibly talented, and can score against the best of them. Including that jerk that wears blue across the river, who everyone says is really good. With that being said, I just want to see, I'm going to use this word. This is the second time I'm going to use this word tonight, a bonanza of goals from the Devils. I want to see a 5-2 scoreline for the Devils. That's my prediction, 5-2. And I'll take scoring from anyone and everyone that wants to score tonight. Just play to your potential and don't play down to your opponent.
I love to hear it. So I want to see Timo Meyer score. I would
I
love
do
to
too.
see him get on the board and finally end his little goal drought that he's in since coming back from injury. I don't think Timo Meyer. I'm not as down on him as some of the rest of the fan base. It's taking time for him to return from injury. I thought he played well, leading up to it, while Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier were out at the same time. Specifically, he scored some goals. They need to go out there and get Timo on the board. I don't care what it takes. He's a big part of this team. I love the way he's running around, playing the game away from the puck. I'm a huge Timo Meyer fan, so I
As am
am
I.
hopeful that he gets on the board tonight. Talking about predictions, we have a very funny one from Sam Wu. Peter says 3-2.
Okay.
Tom says 5-2. Steve Engel says 5-3. All these people are picking Devils. Joseph says 5-2. JP 4-2. Ted 5-2. Someone predicted Mercer and Timo show up. Corbin says 4-1. Selecta Boy says 4-2. And the great Sam Wu predicts that the New Jersey Devils are going to win 10-4. Like
Jeez, if
10-4,
Timo
as in like 10-4 on the
10-4, good buddy.
walkie-talkie. 10-4, good sir.
If the Devils win 10-4 and Timo doesn't score, there's an issue. If the Devils are winning 10-4, Timo better be scoring.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I hope that they are able to get a big win, obviously, but I want to see Timo Meyer, guys like Timo Meyer and Dawson Mercer playing well.
Yeah.
Ramona Rice says 6-1. Joseph says 4-2. Mark says 4-1. My prediction is going to be 5-2. I think the New Jersey
Okay, so
Devils
you're
are
with
going to
me.
win this game
You're with me.
5-2. Yeah, I'm right with you. I like that prediction. If it's a 4-2 game late and the Blue Jackets pull their goalie early, get Timo on the ice. Get him out there. Collect an
Yeah.
assist. Collect an empty netter. something.
And this kind of circles back to what I said before. When you break that streak, things become easier. When you get, when you score that goal that you've been struggling for, the goals come easier after that. When you get that point, that assist, when you've done nothing, it comes easier after that. For a goalie, when you get that first win, when you've struggled, it comes easier after that, because it's that confidence boost of just breaking that drought. And that's my hope for Timo, and that's my hope, just in general for this team, for anyone that needs scoring, but also to beat these teams that we're struggling against, who we shouldn't struggle against, and Jack as well, who broke that drought the other night. Just go all out tonight and pop him home, get primed up to play against your buddy Zegras tomorrow, and then just shove it in his face tomorrow.
100%. When you go to American Whiskey, what's your favorite thing to order?
Let's see. They have a lot of things there. The chicken parm's good. The wings are good. The ribs are good. But you know what I love to get when I'm in American Whiskey?
What's
a
that?
nice, cold, and crew brew.
And Crew Brew. Join our crew today and drink And Crew Brew, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time. Go to American Whiskey. You could get it in one of those big towers. It's got the goal light on it. It's awesome. You can't get your Miller Lite. You can't get your Bud Light.
No Miller Lite.
Every now and then it's okay to be a Bud, tell a Bud, drink a Bud Light. Okay, every now and then it's okay to have Miller time. But when you go to American Whiskey, you drink And Crew Brew. Brought to you by the Let's Go Devils podcast network. Sam?
And Departed Souls. And Departed Souls.
And Departed Souls. And
brewer of
Departed Souls.
choice.
Absolutely. The number one brewer of And Crew Brew. The only brewer of And Crew Brew. Make sure you go to American Whiskey, get yourself a nice tall tower. And, as far as this show, picking the New Jersey Devils against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm so excited for this game, actually. I like when the Devils play bad teams and smoke them. Hopefully they're able to smoke them. But you know what?
I hope so too.
I kind of sound like an old man yelling at a cloud, but I just hope they get a win. Find a way to get 2 points. Every team in the NHL is good.
A cloud.
Literally, the Blue Jackets have good players. They're going to be able to make plays here and there. I really like this Kent Johnson. Do I not? Do I love that he doesn't have Patrick Laine to play with right now on the third line? No, that's tough. But they got Goudreau and Fantilli playing together. I love that combination.
They're good.
And
They're good
now
players.
I'm drawing a blank on the guy Danforth or whatever his name is, playing winger on the other side of Goudreau with Fantilli in the middle.
Mhm.
Kind of reminds me of like a poor man Zach Hyman, but he could develop into a current day Zach Hyman because he battles hard below the net, goes to the front of the net. There are a lot of garbage goals with either tip-ins or rebounds if you're him, with guys like Goudreau and Fantilli driving play around him. So you got to be aware of stuff like this. That Werenski's incredible. So hopefully the Devils are able to get through some of these good players that the Blue Jackets have, though, and take advantage of their vulnerability.
Mhm.
And we can't thank everybody enough watching on Twitter, X, YouTube, Twitch, whatever it is you watch the Let's Go Devils podcast. After the game, make sure you tune in to Devils After Dark, where Scotty of Sirius XM will be with you to break down the game that was against the Columbus Blue Jackets. For Shorts Guy, for Sam Wu, Drink and Crew Brew, my name is Vinnie Parise, and let's go Devils.